will win this.
Para Kroos, la meva Kroos.
Kroos will go for it and score!
Take a touch, and it's Kroos, and it's in.
If someone asks you who Toni Kroos is, you will say world champion, a multiple Champions League winner, Real Madrid and German national team legend, maestro of accurate passes, assist genius, one of the best midfielders in football history. It's all true, but you have never known the whole truth about Toni Kroos. In this video, we will tell you why he's finishing his career at the peak of his form and not going to Saudi Arabia or MLS to make money like everyone else. Why does Toni always plays in the same butts and wash them himself? Why did Kroos leave Bayern and which coach broke up his transfer to the Premier League? Why does he have haters in only one country in the world? How does Toni help children and what does he do besides football? We promise that after this video you will start to respect Toni Kroos even more. And to really get to know him as a footballer and a person, we'll go back to where it all began. Greifswald is a small university town in East Germany near the Baltic Sea. This is where Toni Kroos was born. The boy grew up in a sports family. His father Ronald wrestled as a child and later became a kids football coach. His mother Birgit Kammer was a professional badminton player and even held the title of GDR champion. Kroos started playing football back in his school days with his younger brother Felix under their father's watchful eye. The boys were taught to be disciplined almost from the cradle, so skipping a training session without a good reason was like a taboo. When I think about it, I come to a very simple conclusion. There was never any way that I was gonna be a footballer, Toni says, recalling his childhood. Later, he started playing for the local amateur team Greifswalder. Even then, football totally absorbed the brothers and there was no time left for studying. Toni already knew how to kick a ball when he joined the team, but he still didn't know how to write, wondered Kroos' junior coach Wolfgang Tollner. But unfortunately, Greifswald did not breathe football and did not match the brothers' ambitions. To achieve bigger things, the boys needed a change. It was good that 100 kilometers from Greifswald was the city of Rostock and the local club Hansa with a solid fan base. In 2002, Ronald Kroos was working with the club's youth team, and it was he who helped his sons to get into the Hansa youth team. Toni was 2 years younger than the other players, but he persevered in gaining physical condition. At the age of 17, he was already 183 centimeters tall, and his playing potential was immediately recognized by everyone. He learned to develop his talent. Toni had a great footballing vision, emphasizes Hartmut Schmidt, a friend of the Kroos family. Kroos quickly received a call-up to the German U17 national team, and scouts from top European and Bundesliga clubs, including Bayern Munich, came to the games and watched Toni's performances. Shortly after, something he could only dream about happened. He received a letter from Munich. On July 1st, 2006, the Hansa midfielder signed a contract with Bayern until July 1st, 2012. The newcomer began with the youth team and scored the winning goal against Kaiserslautern in his debut game. A year later, Kroos showed great results in the U17 World Cup in South Korea. He was named the best player of the tournament. The Bayern coaches kept an eye on Toni, so on September 26, 2007, Kroos made his debut for the Munich club in a match against Energy Cottbus at the age of 17 years, 8 months and 22 days. At that time, he was the youngest debutant in Bayern's history. The future world champion was subbed on in a 72nd minute with a score 3-0 when the game was already done for Die Ratten. However, Toni had enough time to impress the crowd. He made 2 assists to Miroslav Klose and helped Bayern to win even more convincingly, 5-0. A few weeks later, Kroos made his UEFA Cup debut for Bayern in a game against Red Star, where he scored a goal and made an assist. Thanks to Toni's efforts, the Munich team managed to come back from 1-2 to 3-2. Head coach Ottmar Hitzfeld simply could not help but honor the match character. Toni is a future international. He is a passionate footballer with great instinct. He always makes the right decision on the pitch, and you don't have to tell him what to do. Nevertheless, the German's second season did not go well. Bayern was led by Jurgen Klinsmann, who did not trust young players and was not gonna give Kroos any minutes. Therefore, in January 2009, Toni was loaned to Bayer Leverkusen for a year and a half. The start was not so great. Kroos played only 10 matches in the Bundesliga, scored 1 goal, while Bayer finished 9th in the league. Kroos really flourished in his next season at Leverkusen, following the appointment of Jupp Heynckes. During the 2009-2010 campaign, Toni played in 33 matches, scoring 9 goals and providing 10 assists. He also won 2 consecutive Bundesliga Player of the Month awards in December and January, and Bayer finished 4th in the league. Toni returned to Bayern with new hopes after Klinsmann's departure and the arrival of Louis van Gaal. He even extended his contract, but quickly regretted it. I was often told how great I was and how I was doing everything right. Still, I did not play. I was convinced I deserved more. Originally, I did not want to return from Leverkusen. When I signed my extension, I regretted it 10 minutes later. Kroos confessed. Van Gaal did not provide any guarantees to Toni and considered him only as a plug in case of injuries to the leaders. And although in the second part of the 2010-2011 season, the midfielder managed to secure place in the Dutch coach's squad, a very unfortunate injury forced Kroos to start all over again. Moreover, Bayern's results were disappointing, as the Munich side finished 3rd in the Bundesliga and were eliminated from the Champions League in the round of last 16. Van Gaal was eventually fired. Fortunately for Kroos, Heynckes took his place. In the 2011-2012 season, Toni started to play much more and in 52 matches in all competitions, scored 7 goals and made 19 assists. Although he was still unlucky at the team level, as Bayern finished 2nd in the league and lost to Chelsea in the Champions League in a penalty shootout in the final. However, Kroos still achieved his goals, and the following season helped Munich to make a treble of the Bundesliga title, a victory in the German Cup, and a triumph in the Champions League. However, Toni still didn't feel happy. He wanted Bayern to appreciate him more and offer him a new contract with a salary that would exceed the 10 million euros a year figure. But Bayern Munich CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge objected and said that he didn't consider Kroos a world-class player. This was told by Kroos's former German international teammate Stefan Reinartz. Rummenigge told Toni, "We won't pay you more than 10 million euros a year because you're not a world-class player. If you know Toni, it's not about money. He needs the confidence of other people. He knew he was a very good player. He's just highly underrated. He's respected, but not loved in Germany." Kroos was offended by Bayern's attitude, and at the end of the 2013-14 season, he made it clear that he would leave the club with which he had won 10 trophies in just over 200 matches. The rumors of a transfer to Manchester United immediately followed. The Red Devils were doing everything they could to sign the German upon the request of then-manager David Moyes. The deal was almost signed, but then Moyes was fired and Van Gaal was called to take his place. Kroos did not want to work with Louis van Gaal again, especially since the World Cup was coming up. At the World Cup, Toni played all the matches for Germany without substitutions. In the first game of the group stage against Portugal, Kroos provided an assist. In the quarterfinals against France, he again had an assist. And in the legendary semi-final match against Brazil, when the Germans defeated the Seleção 7-1, Kroos made a brace, provided 1 assist, and was named the best player of the match. By the way, even though the German hurt the Brazilian national team, Brazilian fans nicknamed Toni the Waiter in respect for Kroos's perfect assists. After that, the Bundes team defeated Argentina 1-0 in the final. Kroos won a gold medal and was included in the World Cup team of the tournament. Interestingly, according to the Castrol Index, a FIFA-approved ranking, there was no player better in the tournament in Brazil than Toni Kroos. The criteria included passes, tackles, the ground covered, and goals, with Kroos scoring a remarkable 9.79 out of 10. But despite his statistical dominance, the 2014 FIFA World Cup Golden Ball was awarded to Lionel Messi. Toni again felt highly underrated, but he didn't complain and acted like a normal person after the victory. The German national team held a big celebration with alcohol in the locker room, and even the then-Chancellor Angela Merkel visited the players. The whole team was getting high and taking pictures with the head of state, but not the humble Kroos. He was sitting by his locker and calmly lacing up his boots, which was later noticed on social media. The photo broke the internet. And soon after, Toni received a special call. A few days after returning from Brazil, Kroos already knew that he was going to Real Madrid, and the person who called was Carlo Ancelotti.
Hi Mark, how are you? I'm Carlo.
On July 17, 2014, Real officially announced the transfer of the world champion. The transfer fee was around 25 to 30 million euros. Kroos signed a 6-year deal worth 12 million euros a year. At the time, German football agent Volker Struth called it the robbery of century. This is where the happiest and most successful chapter of Toni Kroos' career began. Kroos' career at Real Madrid is about stability, determination, success, love for the badge on his chest, and impressive calmness in any situation. However, the German start in Madrid was not a positive one. Toni's arrival did not evoke much emotions. Only 8,000 fans came to his official presentation as a Blancos player. For comparison, in 2009, 55,000 people attended the presentation of Kaká, whose number 8, by the way, went to Kroos. And 36,000 people came to see James Rodriguez, who was presented to the public a week after Toni. Once again, Kroos had to bear the cold treatment, highly underrated, again and again. But Toni kept his head up. I know how things are at Real Madrid. It's necessary to win titles, and I'm the right man. I'm not a man to talk a lot, but I'm gonna give everything for Real Madrid so that the fans are happy, Kroos promised at the presentation. He played his first match for Blancos on August 12, 2014, for the UEFA Super Cup against Sevilla, in which the Royal Club won 2-0. On August 25th, Kroos made his first assist for Real, assisting Karim Benzema in the match against Cordoba. On November 8th, the German scored his first goal, netting against Rayo Vallecano after a pass from Cristiano Ronaldo. In his first season with Real, Kroos played 55 matches, more than anyone in the team, and made 14 assists. But the team's results were not the best. Madrid lost the title race to Barcelona in La Liga and were eliminated by Juventus in the semi-finals of the Champions League. In the next campaign, led by Zizou, Kroos played 44 matches, nearly without being subbed off, and provided 13 assists. This time, he reached the Champions League final with Real, and in the decisive match against Atletico, it was the German sniper's delivery that led to Sergio Ramos's goal. The winner was decided after extra time in a penalty shootout. The Blancos won it with a score of 5-3, and Kroos won the Champions League for the second time in his career. As the years passed, it was already the rule for Toni to win the most important club tournament with Real, from the 2016-17 season to the 2022-23 season. The Madrid midfielder, under the leadership of Zinedine Zidane, as well as after Ancelotti's return, won the Champions League 4 more times. At the same time, Kroos continues to collect other trophies with the Royal Club, and today he is a 5-time winner of the FIFA Club World Cup, 4-time La Liga champion, 4-time winner of the Supercopa de España, 4-time winner of the UEFA Super Cup, and a Copa del Rey winner. And he is still the only player in football history to win 5 Champions Leagues and the World Cup, a record that will never be broken, we believe. From a rookie who hardly interested defense, he turned into a legend and a backbone player of the team thanks to his perfect passes, top-notch long-range shots, incredible vision, and impressive ability to read the game and set the pace. Just listen to the words of Toni's former teammate Casemiro.
Es uno de los jugadores más importantes del equipo porque él maneja cómo va el balón, en qué ritmo jugamos. Entonces, si Toni quiere que el equipo va más despacio, el equipo va más despacio. Si el equipo va más rápido, el equipo va más rápido. Entonces, nosotros jugamos en función de Toni Kroos.
Sergio Ramos once voiced a similar opinion. He is an indispensable member of our team who creates the right balance. He delivers solutions within our game and is an extraordinary passer who has assisted many of my headed goals. But perhaps most importantly, even time cannot stop Kroos. From season to season, Toni has maintained his statistical numbers at a consistently high level. In 10 years at the Santiago Bernabeu, there has not been a single campaign in which he played less than 40 matches, and he has never dropped below a 93% average pass accuracy during a full season since joining Real Madrid. Also, since his first season in Spain, 2014-2015, among all Los Blancos players, Kroos has played the most matches in all competitions, 463, made the most assists, 92, completed the most passes, 31,769, and created the most chances, 967. Just try to comprehend this. During his 10 years in La Liga, Toni made 20,672 accurate passes, maintaining an average accuracy of 94%. What an utterly brilliant player! And what's most impressive is that the completed 2023-24 season was perhaps the best of his career. It looks like football aging is completely unknown for him. This is again supported by the stats. Toni Kroos has the best pass success rate of any midfielder in Europe's top 5 leagues this season, 94.5% according to WhoScored. And according to the statistical platform DataMB, the Real Madrid midfielder ranks first among players in the top leagues in terms of forward passes accuracy, progressive passes accuracy, forward passes per 90, long passes per 90, passes to the final third per 90, and a number of other metrics. Moreover, with 8 assists in the league, an average of 0.3 assists per game, 5.73 expected assists, and 9 big chances created, Toni is producing better results than in 4 of the last 5 seasons. All this at the age of 34. Fantastic! Jude Bellingham applauds Kroos' passes right in the middle of games, and that speaks volumes. And his tip to Vinicius for the goal against Bayern in the first leg of the UCL semifinals is worth a lot. Come on, even Carlo Ancelotti asks him for tactical advice during games. We don't know of any other player who fascinates his teammates and coaches as much as ordinary fans in the stands. But this is only part of the puzzle, and only a few know that Toni Kroos is not just an example for the players on the pitch, but also a true warrior and a true leader of it. For most fans, he was still Real Madrid's silent Galactico, but finally, after years of his silence, Kroos has found his voice. And to understand the German waiter to the fullest, we have to answer the main question: what are you really like, Toni Kroos? Cool, calm, and decisive are the most accurate words to describe Toni Kroos. He's a superstar in football, but he is still a very normal guy who is not interested in showboating and excessive goal celebrations when players wear masks or dance. What I always found sweet was Gerd Müller. He just jumped up, pulled up his pants. That was real joy, nothing big, Kroos says. In his personal life, Toni is a monogamist and an extremely family man. Like every football player, he could have chosen any model girl from the crowd of fans, but he gave his heart to Jessica Farber, a humble, caring, and homely woman whom he married in 2015. When Jessie entered my life, everything made more sense because I had something more important than football. I would lie if I said that we never argued, but I never slept on the couch. We reached an agreement quickly, Kroos explains. The couple has been together for almost 10 years. Toni and Jessica have 3 children, sons Leon and Finn, and daughter Emily. Kroos expressed his parental feelings in tattoos with the names of his children and the time of their birth. Toni and Jessica used to live in Madrid, but they didn't like the dynamics of the big city and eventually moved away. We lived in Madrid for 5 years and we never went to the city. We preferred to sit at home like some grandparents, Jessie admits. Toni, by the way, is not ashamed of his couch potato nature. I like sitting at home. After team matches, I always hurry to spend the night at home. When I get home, I forget about the result, about victory or failure. At home, I'm just a husband and father. He's definitely one of us, guys. During summer vacations, the Kroos' home in Mallorca became their family hearth. They did their best to keep their private life out of the public eye, either live or in social media. Toni's Instagram is all about football, and Jessica's page contains only family and charity posts. Nevertheless, persistent journalists found out the location and gathered near the Kroos' house to shoot reports. The father of the family got tired of it and decided to sell the house and move back to the Spanish capital with his family. By the way, do you remember when we said that Kroos is a monogamist? This applies not only to his personal life, but also to his shoes. And it may sound strange, but you won't hear a better love story about a football player and his shoes. Toni Kroos has been wearing the same boots for 10 years. Yes, you heard it right. Since 2014, the Real Madrid midfielder has been running in one model, the Adidas Adipure 11 Pro. It's special for the German because he won the 2014 World Cup in them. The German absolutely refuses to upgrade his boots because he loves simplicity and stability. And even though Adidas hasn't produced a model that Toni likes for a long time, the company still makes several exclusive pairs for him every season. I just feel comfortable with these boots. I don't know why. I think because of the material and the color. Nowadays, every 1 or 2 months they change the color, the material. For many players it's not a problem. I'm a little different. I have to feel very comfortable. I don't want any others. I want these, and thanks to Adidas who still do it for me exclusively. Kroos reveals the truth. You might also not know that Toni is the only Real player who takes care and washes his boots himself without the help of the club staff. My boots are the most important thing for me on the pitch, more than for other players, Kroos explains. He is still as humble as he was at the beginning of his career, and as a way of saying thank you, Adidas regularly gives him nice presents. In early May, the German manufacturer released a special golden version of his boots for Toni and is now preparing another special model. However, there is a sad news. Not for the next season, because Kroos will not have it. And this is really heartbreaking. However, Toni has a lifelong commitment that will keep him going after his career is over. Getting back to children, it's worth noting that caring for the kids' development is not an empty sound for Kroos. The Real Madrid player has his own football academy, which stands out among numerous competitors for its modern and very thorough approach to work. Toni has a small staff of 12 people. Kroos himself makes strategic decisions, plans the development of the academy, and personally watches potential newcomers. Whenever possible, Toni also conducts training sessions on his own. He shows the boys and girls exercises that he himself has perfected at a professional level. Kroos always tells his young trainees what they need to pay attention to in the game, and does not allow them to move on to the next task until the previous ones are completed flawlessly. In addition, Kroos analyzes matches he used to play in for the guys. He explains why he made certain decisions in certain episodes and invites the students to analyze together whether they could have played more effectively. After the video lessons, particularly difficult situations are modeled in training. The main partner of the Kroos Academy is the sportswear brand Adidas, but Toni also invests his own money. I invest millions of euros, but it's not a financial burden that I think about every day. I see smiling kids and their parents every month, and I clearly realize that the money is working well, Toni says. Together with Adidas, he also supports his own charity foundation aimed at helping children with severe illnesses. When you are used to a certain standard of living, you start taking things for granted. You get upset over the smallest things. Helping sick children and their families has shown me that there are bigger problems to worry about in life. It has helped me evolve as an individual and truly see the bigger picture, Kroos emphasizes. The Real Madrid legend often repeats that any business should be socially oriented because money can run out, but good deeds remain in people's memory forever. Toni also has a strong position on big money, and this is exactly what he doesn't like about modern football, especially after the massive departures of top players to Saudi Arabia. They say that the football there is ambitious, but it all revolves around money. In the end, it's a decision for money and against football. It's starting to be difficult for the football we all know and love. Kroos reflected in 2023. Toni was particularly critical of 21-year-old Celta midfielder Gabriel Veiga, who had options to join the English Premier League but chose Saudi Arabia's Al Ahly. In the comments to Fabrizio Romano's post about this transfer, Kroos wrote, "Embarrassing," and later explained his position. Everyone goes there for the money. What I have a problem with are the 26, 27, 28-year-olds who have absolutely top quality and play in top clubs in Europe. I'm not a fan of that. It's an incredibly bad example for a lot of young players that the motivation is money, the German sniper believes. It's quite expected that Kroos became hated in Saudi Arabia for his statements, so when in January 2024, Toni arrived there to play in the Spanish Super Cup with Real, his every touch of the ball and pass was mercilessly booed by the stands. However, these motivated the German even more. He smiled and sarcastically applauded his haters, and as a result, won the Super Cup after the Blancos team's victories over Atletico and Barcelona. I can say from the bottom of my heart that it didn't bother me or affect my way of playing. On the contrary, it was quite funny. You get used to it and it makes you smile. The booing confirms my statements. I was probably right. Kroos said later. In general, as a person, Kroos fully opens up in his podcast, which he runs with his younger brother Felix. The podcast has an interesting name, Einfach mal lupen, which means don't hoof. This phrase was often said by the brothers' grandfather Heinz when Toni and Felix were playing football as children and kicked the ball too hard instead of chipping it over the goalkeeper. Grandpa Heinz is the one who announces these sections of the podcast, and the listeners love these men. Many in the Kroos audience are willing to pay up to 1,000 euros to listen to special episodes with Heinz. I like the fact that our podcast has a family-like, even intimate atmosphere. There was one investor who offered us 1.5 million euros in exchange for permanent advertising integrations. But it seemed to me that it would be wrong in relation to the listeners. They are used to a certain mode and are hardly ready to hear from us about services in stores or new car oil. Kroos shared in one of the episodes. Although Toni is connected to the car business, in June 2023, he joined the German car rental startup Duke. Kroos also invests in the startup Green Monkey. Its members produce an eco-friendly protective film for smartphones. In March 2020, Kroos also founded Kroos Properties, a real estate company. He donates the money from the sale of real estate to the development of a charity fund and healthcare projects. Although, of course, Toni's main business achievements are for the sake of his children and beloved wife. Still, it's so painful to realize that he's about to leave us, the fans of his amazing football.
I have some big news coming out of La Liga. Real Madrid and Germany midfielder Toni Kroos has confirmed that he will retire from football after the Euros this summer.
The world was shocked. In his farewell letter, the Real Madrid veteran wrote, "I always wanted to retire at the top, and this feels perfect. We know that sometimes people miss the perfect window to retire, and I never want to have a feeling that the team or the fans want to tell me to retire or having to sit 3 to 4 years on the bench." The only reaction of Real players was tears. However, they understood their teammates' decision. Vinicius Jr. supported Toni. Genius. It was the closest word I could find to define you, Toni. And yet, it's far from what you deserve. Thank you for every pass, for every guidance, and for allowing me to learn so much in these years. We love you. On to the 15th for you. Luka Modric, with whom Kroos shared the center of the pitch for a decade, replied as follows. "The football world is sad because a historic footballer is leaving. I'm also very sad. Man, you are a legend of the sport and a legend of Real Madrid. You have qualities that make you a unique and special footballer, and there will never be another Toni Kroos. I'll miss you, my friend." Dani Carvajal also felt emotional along with them. "I will always remember with pride that I was lucky enough to play alongside Toni Kroos, and one day I will tell my children everything we achieved together on the field. Thank you for everything you have contributed to the team and for being a constant inspiration to all of us." Real Madrid's top scorer, Cristiano Ronaldo, also joined the farewells. Thank you for everything, Toni. What an honor to have shared the pitch with you. I wish you all the best for the future. Other emotional messages were left by legends such as Sergio Ramos, Xabi Alonso, and Miroslav Klose. And of course, today's stars like Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United and Enzo Fernandez of Chelsea. And it's hard to imagine what Real Madrid fans felt. From only 8,000 people at the presentation to millions saying goodbye to you in tears. Toni Kroos has come a long way. However, this is not the end. Kroos has the Champions League final against Borussia ahead, where Real will put everything on the line to make sure that Toni retires properly. Next up, Kroos will travel with Germany to Euro 2024, where his experience could play a key role amid the team's fresh start under Julian Nagelsmann. And what's next? Football owns Toni Kroos the 2024 Ballon d'Or. If the German makes the most of both ends, he will be a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or. The midfielder has already risen to third place in the latest Score 90 rankings, and his chances are growing every day. Anything can happen. There is Euro 2024 this summer. If he wins the Champions League and the Euros with Germany, he could fight for the Ballon d'Or. Carlo Ancelotti believes. If Kroos wins the most prestigious individual award in football, it could be a landmark event, as no German player has won the Ballon d'Or since Matthias Sommer in 1996. We wish Toni to break the long silence, but we still won't have enough words to express all the respect for Kroos for his outstanding play and career. 5 Champions League, 6 Club World Cups, 3 Bundesliga titles, 1 German Super Cup, 4 La Liga titles, 4 Spanish Super Cups, Copa del Rey win, 5 UEFA Super Cup wins, 3 German Cup wins. There will never be another Toni Kroos. And a special word of praise to the leadership spirit and life philosophy of the outstanding German. He just couldn't leave on a lower note, and we will always remember and love you, Toni, for these farewell words. I wanted to end it in the best way possible, and this season is one of the best I've played. I want you to remember me as I am now, this player on top. Would you like Toni Kroos to win the Ballon d'Or in his last season? If you enjoyed the video, please support it with a like. Thank you and see you in the next video.